This evening, here's our first story for the evening. Street protesters in a small town in Saratov region are calling for people from the Caucasus to be expelled from that area. It's the fourth day of protests, which began after a Chechen teenager allegedly stabbed a local man to death. Yesterday, thousands of people blocked a motorway, while one group tried to set fire to a cafe where these people from the Caucasus region in Russia meet up.
And that is not the only place where ethnic tensions are escalating. In Yekaterinburg, there were mass protests after police let go an Uzbek man who hit and seriously injured a boy while reversing his car. But as the protest became larger, police eventually did arrest the man. Let's get the very latest on both of those stories now. Let's talk to Prime Time's Roman Kosarev. Roman, lots to talk about here. First off, just remind us what initially led to those protests in the Saratov region.
Of course, Neil, well, the mass protests in the Saratov region in the town of Pugachov, they occurred when a 16-year-old boy allegedly killed a 20-year-old paratrooper after a brawl outside of a nightclub. Now, the fight began after the suspect, who is of Chechen origin, apparently began flirting with the victim's girlfriend. So a quarrel took place, and then the guys decided to meet a week later to figure everything out in the fight, and the outcome of that was lethal stabbing of the paratrooper with a scalpel, and the man actually died on the way to the hospital from multiple wounds. Now, that occurred on the 6th of July, and the very next day local residents staged a mass protest that lasted for a few days. I believe it was at least 4 days. Now, their demands are that all ethnic Chechens must leave the region immediately and unconditionally. Doesn't matter whether they have radical views or they abide by the law or not. They said all the Chechens must leave the area. And the authorities, on the other hand, they're saying they will not let the locals resort to lynching, and they're trying to control the situation. Meanwhile, the leaders of the Chechen diaspora in Chechen community in the Saratov region, they claim they have already sent away all of those young men of Chechen origin who are, quote, hard to control and have radical views, unquote.
Roman, what are investigators saying about all of this?
Well, obviously the criminal investigation has already been launched, and the suspect, Ali Nazirov, he was already arrested, and reportedly he has already confessed to the killing. Meanwhile, the police there in Saratov, they said they have questioned 15 witnesses already, and at the moment, members of the Chechen community, well, they claim it was them that arrested Ali Nazirov, and they delivered him to the authorities, forcing him to confess. Now, at the moment, there's some very, very heavy policing there in Pugachov and in and around the town. There's been a universal ban on the sales of alcohol in the area as well, and Russian Federal Migration Service in the area, they're of course right now busy raiding not just the illegal immigrants, but raiding those Russians that don't have local registration papers.
And Roman, moving on to Yekaterinburg, what was it that led to the escalation in tensions there?
Well, kind of a similar situation there, and you'll understand why it's similar in a moment, although how it began is completely different case. Now, a man from Uzbekistan almost got away with badly injuring a child after he began reversing his car. Now, the shock's parents, they began banging on his vehicle, begging the man to stop, but the Uzbek driver, he was relentless and continued continued reversing his car, not realizing what was going on, or realizing what was going on, but failing to comply. And obviously he did not hear the pleas of the parents, and obviously the baby was badly injured. The baby's in a coma in a hospital right now. The man continued to reverse his car until the father of the child actually dragged him out of the car, forcing him to stop. Now, the similarity there is that the local residents are trying to make sure that this driver does not get away without punishments from this situation, and obviously they staged a mass protest as well, and that occurred after the man was let go from the police station after paying a simple fine. Mind you, the authorities are saying that that fine was for something else, and he has not been arraigned for the other crime just yet. Now, the protest, the people, they felt they needed these protests because the man, the Uzbeki driver, was kind of familiar with arresting police officers that arrived on the scene, and people were basically afraid of a corruption case taking place in that situation. So after the man was let go, they took to the streets and basically forced the police to rearrest that man, and right now a criminal case has been launched against him as well, and we will be seeing how that situation will unfold as well.
Okay, thank you for that. Starting the show, our top story and our correspondent Raman Kosarev.